on our last session, the investigators were they'd finished up their prep there in Arnoldsburg. Gillis had taken some time getting the information that they were going to need to dress up. Uh, kind of, he had acted on his own. He was feeling this whole like coming to God moment of he 100% believes this shit is real now, and to identify with this new persona, he had went and bought a new suit, and he had
That's
shaved
right,
his
I
beard, so
remember.
he was rocking just
Yes.
a mustache at this point.
That's right. That's right. I
Uh,
remember now.
then you guys had started making your trip out. You had stopped at one of the rest stops at one point. Gillis had taken this opportunity to kind of like sit down with Bentley. The whole group of investigators had been out there, but he sat down with Bentley and kind of like eye to eye with him, like, "Hey, this shit is real and it's terrifying, and I want you to know what you're getting into before you fully commit, because once you're in, you're in. There's no going back. Like, we just found out this Djinn can reach us in our dreams and fuck with us. Like, now you're part of it. So if you're gonna get out, now's the time." And kind of had that sit down with him. Bentley had kind of owned up that he had seen some crazy stuff out
Oh
west
yeah,
with like
in the mines
lobotomizations
or
and
whatever,
that type
right?
of
Or something
stuff.
like that.
Yeah, and essentially what this ended up kind of becoming was this like team building coming together moment. There were some discussions of like what the everybody thinks happens after death. It got really kind of like deep as far as like what everybody's belief structures were and how they deal with what they're going through. Following this rest stop, we had kind of skipped forward till where you guys had arrived in Harlem, where you had reached out to Edwin, kind of comically because Archibald had been the one to do it, and he had found out Edwin was having dinner that night, and had kind of started to invite himself over to this
Oh
dinner.
shit! I
I
fucking
remember
remember
this.
that. God damn it!
Uh, After the awkward tension on the phone, eventually it was decided that it would be the next night that they would meet with Edwin over in Small's Paradise. Um, this gave the party time to go out and buy fancier clothes for the dinner, as well as Carmilla had set up a kind of steak dinner at her house since she lived in New
Yes, that's
York.
right.
Uh, Bentley had taken this opportunity to kind of go out, check out Small's Paradise, because he wanted to kind of get the vibe of how to dance, because he's never done jazz. He'd done a lot of square dancing and that type of stuff, but never jazz per se. Um, Archibald had followed him, and they had kind of had a couple comical interactions because Archibald had successfully stayed in the shadows up until the dancing came up. At which point he's like, "Oh, I'll show you how to dance."
I'll
um,
show you how to Charleston.
Yeah.
Bentley had then gone to go get a gun, specifically a Smith and Wesson 45, for Carmilla, kind of reciprocating the generosity that she had been showing the party up until this point. You guys had then met for dinner, where you had found out Carmilla had a bike that she was working on in her shop. Um,
Yes.
and after some pretty good dinner with some steaks and whatnot, I think it was steaks and lobsters, you guys had played
Yes.
cards, which was a pretty good opportunity to kind of showcase some of the abilities of like psychology and everything and how that played into the card game.
Yes. Yes.
So once again, we kind of established that this group of investigators are kind of like really coming together and had each other's backs. Uh, we had skipped all the way forward to the following night where you guys had met with Edwin in Small's Paradise. You guys were kind of surprised because Carmilla walked straight up to the front of the line, knew the bouncers by name, and you guys were
That's
immediately
right.
let in,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
establishing that she's from New York and has a lot of affiliations with the
Has some
bosses
pull.
and stuff in there. Yeah. You guys had got seated with Edwin, who was an older gentleman in like a green velvet suit. Um, he had wanted to make some small talk, kind of trying to put off the conversation of the Djinn and the Amber. But you guys were really wanting to kind of get the information, so eventually he had like hunkered down in front of the lamp there and kind of divulged to you guys that while you guys thought there was only 4 Amber Djinn crystals that you needed to find, or specifically 3 more, he revealed that there actually was 7 total. So there's 6
7, yeah.
unaccounted for. He'd given you the names of all 7 of them, which I can't remember if I sent them in a message in the chat or not, but I can send them out if you guys need them.
That might be something we need.
Yeah, I'll.
When you're done with your recap, Don, I do have a quick question.
Perfect. Following getting all this information, basically he told you that he had sold them to a Pete Minusco, who worked for one of the.
He's an accountant.
Yes, he's
I
a.
have one note. Dude, look at this. See all
Lots
these
of drugs. And then
The
Pete-
only thing I have written down is Pete Minesto, accountant.
Yeah. So yeah, he's an accountant. On legal terms, he's an accountant. Edwin had filled you in. He's a bookkeeper for one of the crime bosses in town. He doesn't know the crime boss, but he sold all of them to Pete. So he was setting up a meet with Pete so that you guys could figure out what happened to the 6 amber crystals that were unaccounted for.
Wait, what? And one of these crime bosses? Hold on, I missed that first part because I was trying to find my notes. What
So
about-
Pete Minesco essentially worked for a crime boss here in New York, who, on that crime boss's behalf, was supposed to purchase all 7, but he purchased all 6 that Edwin had
Oh, I
unarchived,
see.
because Mary and Alan had stolen one of them and taken them out and did the whole thing with the Dark Brotherhood.
Ritual or whatever.
Yeah. So the 6 were sold to one specific crime boss. At least that's what you guys are aware of at the moment.
And that's what he's setting us up for.
Yeah, so you're going to meet with this
Gotcha.
accountant to figure out what happened to him from there. Following getting all this information, you guys had taken the opportunity to kind of just relax. You had partaken of the dancing and everything in the Smallest Paradise because it is one of the hottest places to be as far as jazz is concerned. The waiters were dancing in Charleston as they're going up and down the aisles. Liquor is just pouring everywhere. It was kind of like this sacred ground for both cops, public officials, and
Right,
criminals.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
everybody came here. You would know who was who, but you didn't really talk about it because obviously it's a speakeasy, so you're not really divulging who you saw there or that you were even there. But anybody who is anybody is there. Which during this time frame, you guys, once again, the relationship between Carmilla and Bentley had kind of like really solidified. It seemed like they really had a thing for each other. They did some dancing together. Archibald and Violet had also danced together. Everybody kept trying to pull Gillis out on the floor, but he kind of took the I'm a little too old for this, and he spent part of it like looking at his pocket watch with his white buffalo in there,
Right.
kind of reminiscing of, kind of implying like what could have been sort of mentality. And that's where we had ended last session.
I have one thing to add to that recap.
Okay, what do you got?
I don't remember the specific details, but there was a point where Gillis was seeking some approval from Violet, and we had a small conversation about my mustache, and she just flat out, if I remember right, did not like it. So like, yeah.
I
that's
took
all
it
I
as she was
can add.
indifferent. Like she didn't care what your facial hair looked like. She just wasn't interested in you.
Maybe that was me just like taking it a little too personally as a person. That's it.
Archibald, you had something.
Yeah, just a quick question. So on my character sheet from last time, I have a couple of checks. Are those things that I'm supposed to level up now?
Not yet.
When we
Not
have
yet, okay.
like the downtime or whatever it's called, that's when those
Yeah.
check marks
So
come into
they
play.
call it the developmental phase. So
Oh, right.
at least at the moment, I would say don't expect the developmental phase until we finish the Dead Man Stomp module, which is what we're currently running. I don't know how many sessions that'll be because it'll kind of depend on how you guys progress through it. But that's typically how it works, is once you guys finish a threat storyline, then you would do a developmental phase where you get to apply all those check marks. But definitely keep
Okay.
track of them so that you have them whenever you get to do that, because obviously they are
That
important.
Yeah, the
Okay.
check marks
I-
give you the ability to put more points into it.
I also just realized I don't have my dice, so give me like 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'll run and grab those.
Oh, are you cool if I just roll real dice?
Yeah, no. My thing is, I think we've talked about it before. Is I trust that you guys are rolling them the right way. In my opinion, if you're trying to fudge that you're rolling high every single time, I think you're gonna have less fun than what happens
Yeah.
whenever you fail. Uh,
For sure.
especially with this one, because failing isn't necessarily like a roadblock. It just means you might have a harder time.
Right.
So instead of,
Right.
because even how the core rules kind of read it is like, just because you fail your jump check doesn't mean you don't make it. You just might have like rolled your ankle or something like that. So it might be harder to do
Right.
something later on.
Right. Okay, I'm just grabbing my D10s.
Yeah, the Call of Cthulhu box comes with like one of the D100s as blue, so that you can roll both at the same time and not have to like worry about which one's the 10s and which one's the 100s.
My personal rule is I try to find the D10 that has the 50, 30, 10,
Right,
the
so it actually
actual-
has the 10s place.
And so like the normal D10 is like
The ones, yeah,
digit.
yeah.
So real quick, just sometimes I kind of get confused because I might be an ADHD thing. I don't know. So like in this system, if I rolled on the main die double zero,
Yeah.
that would mean if I rolled a 5 on this, it would just be 5, right?
Yep. So the first one is what
100
you're. Yeah. So the first one is only 100 if you roll all zeros. So all three need to be 0.
So so you gotta roll a 10. So basically 2 10s is
Yeah.
a 100. Okay.
Uh,
Alright, that's all I needed to know. Because sometimes I get that shit twisted for some reason.
yeah. Well, and the other one, just as a reminder, when we're rolling, as you're looking at, yeah, you want the low number. So whatever your percentage says, you want that number or lower. The only exception is whenever we're leveling up, and whenever you have a take sanity damage. If it's over 5, we roll to see if you go temporarily insane.
Right.
That one you want to roll above your number because
Hasn't Archibald gone insane when we
Archibald
had
has gone.
Yes.
encounter in the house?
When we were fighting the Djinn, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he was
Yeah.
laughing hysterically, waving a gun around.
That's right,
Carmilla has
that's right.
also gone temporarily insane
Yes.
during her
yes.
dream
And
bout.
all I need are my hundreds, right?
Unless we're fighting something, you might need like a D6 or D4, but I would say it's pretty far down in what we've got for tonight.
Yeah, it's like D100s all the way down.
Oh, you're good. I've got.
And I don't even know if you have any weapons equipped at the moment that it would matter.
Dude,
I've got
honestly,
like one pistol and that's it.
I don't think Gilus even has a gun.
I mean, technically you could like unarmed strike, which is like a 1d3, but once again, to be honest with who's in the group right now, the likelihood of you guys instigating a fight is pretty low. I'd be more worried if
honestly,
Carmilla was here.
Yeah, I was gonna say Carmella is our fighting chance. Maybe Bentley, but we haven't seen what his whole thing's all about yet, technically yet. So like,
You want to? I don't mean to take from your game, Don.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I pulled out my notebook and I'm like, you want to see something funny? So, you know, the last session in Into the Rift where you guys fought that dragon.
Mm-hmm.
This was the beta of it with my kids.
Wow.
Do you like my dragon? Right there?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh
Wow.
man, I'm excited for
Alright,
tomorrow night
let's do
or
it.
next week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for tomorrow night. I'm gonna miss part of it though, but we'll get there when we get there. All right. So following your guys' night at Smells Paradise, it's kind of open to what you want to do. Edwin had kind of expressed to you guys that it's going to take him 2 or 3 days to set up a meeting with Pete. He's going to set it here at Smells Paradise again, so like it'd be familiar territory for you guys. But you guys will have a little bit of time, so if you want to do any research on the Djinn names that you got, we can go over some of that. If you're wanting to do anything else during this downtime in New York, so say you've got 3 days, we'll kind of go around the table, and that's how we'll do this one. And basically, after the 3 days, you'll get a call from Edwin with the time and place for the meeting with, or time at Small's Paradise to meet with Pete. But other than that, we'll start with Archibald. Is there anything you're kind of wanting to do during this 3-day period? So 1920s New York is what you got to work with, and whatever information we've now gathered as a group. If you guys are wanting to work on your jobs, you can. Just as far as the meta is concerned, you need a full month to really boost your credit rating. So the 3 days, so in your case, Gillis, you could keep yourself afloat, but you're not going to be able to like improve your credit rating right now.
Right.
Okay. And what? I know that we had got information on the Djinns, but I don't remember what information that was.
All he gave you was that there was 7 of them, and then he gave you the names. So you had the
Hold on, I'm
gold.
gonna write this down.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I'm
Okay,
doing
go
the same.
for it.
The Gold King of Sunday, all Madhab. So it's AL-MUD HA
MA dash.
or AL-MUD HAHHAB.
What a name!
Wait,
They're
3
all
H's?
Arabic. So I guess I
Oh,
forgot.
okay.
The other thing that he mentioned is these are all Arabic relics
Makes sense.
related to the Quran, specifically the part dealing with.
Oh,
I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's basically the equivalent of Satan in the Quran. So these are all
Right.
underlings of effectively Lucifer,
Oh, okay.
or at least mythology-wise, as far as he's aware, that's what they're all related to. Whether or not it's true, kind of like the Call of Cthulhu thing, is does anybody really fully understand what they're getting into? But that's the information he provided. The
Cool.
next one was the
Okay.
White King of Monday.
Oh,
all-
okay, we got some days of the week going on here.
One for each day. Al Malik Al Abayad. So it's AL-MALIK space AL-ABYAD.
I am never going to be able to pronounce these, and neither is Archibald.
Malik,
And
that one's
as you can
easier.
see,
Malik
I'm doing a
Ali
fantastic.
Abidal.
As you can tell, I'm doing a fantastic job of pronouncing all of these. The Red King of Tuesday, Al Malik Al Amar, which is Al Malik is the same as the last one. The second part is AL-AHMAR.
AMR?
MAR.
Wait, hold on. What?
So it's Al Malik, which is the same as the last one we went over, then space AL-AHMAR.
That's an MAR.
Then the Black King of Wednesday, Al Malik, same as before, Al Azwad, which is AL-ASWAD.
SWAD.
The King of Thursday, Sham Harash.
Wait, just King of Thursday, no color?
Yeah, he didn't have a color.
Wow. Interesting.
SHAM HURASH.
HURSH?
URASH.
HURURASH.
Sorry. SHAM
Okay.
HURASH.
ASH.
You are a what? I just take that as a joke. I was like, I like that first.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. The King of Friday, Zabwa. ZAWBA'. And then the last one, the King of Saturday, Maymun. Maymun.
Wow. Jesus fucking Djinn.
Well, so when I was researching for this, I found it interesting. So Djinn,
No, I
Genie,
found it.
all of it.
Yeah.
Everything that we get depicted in this part of the world is like, oh, they're like the monkey's paw sort of thing.
Right.
I
That-
didn't realize they're in the Quran, like actually mentioned in the Quran, and two,
Oh,
they're
really?
closer to just straight up fucking demons.
Yeah. No, I know I'm not, and I would never claim to be like an expert on the Quran, but when I was going to Weber State, I studied a lot on like the history of religions and all that jazz, and I got to take a little bit of introductory to the Quran, and I do recognize some of these names, and some of them are like they're like horrible fucking people.
Yeah, it's just interesting because like culture, how you like because you think about like fairies, like any of the fae. Like if you go back to like the roots of fae, they're fucking terrifying. But meanwhile, we're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Tinkerbell, sweetest angel you've ever met in your life. Like, and that's kind of how it is with these, right? So they can grant wishes, but it's usually like they're taking your soul or something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're more tricksters than anything else.
and they kind of
Wow.
don't like humanity. All right, so Archibald, with us establishing that, if you like the research, we'll do depending on how you're researching, we'll do a roll for that. Each roll will be for one bit of information. So, like, if you want to do one, you pick one, we'll roll for that, and then kind of go down the line. You guys can do this as a shared group as we're doing that. If you're wanting to go do some private investigator work, that's fair game as well, or anything else while we're here in the city.
I'm gonna say, like in like true Archibald fashion, I see him just kind of like wandering around New York with his notepad and pen in hand, like looking to see if like maybe he can find like a library or like even an antique shop that might like sell something like close to this culture, but he would not be afraid at all to just stop random people, and these would be like the most like a bum on the street and just be like, hey, sir, do you know anything about Al Mud Hot
Oh my God.
Hob?
Okay. Let me see what makes the most sense here. As far as finding libraries, it wouldn't be too rough. You're in one of the biggest cities in
Yeah.
the biggest city, I
the-
think, in
The biggest
America at
city,
this
yeah.
point in time.
Uh-huh.
So if you're
Are
wanting,
skyscrapers a thing right now in this year?
I think
Or
they're building
starting
them.
to be a thing? Right?
Yeah, I want to say they're actively building them during this time period.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to do it in the library, we use library use. As far as like finding vendors and stuff, kind of what you would run into is a lot of them are going to try and sell you something. So they would like have the lamp, like, oh, this is from Saudi Arabia. Like, is this what you're looking for? So they're trying to sell you something, not necessarily give you the information on it. So library or something of that nature, like one of the universities, is probably your best bet to kind of get at least some surface level information on any of these. So we'd say it's on a regular success, you would get one of them. A hard success, you would get 2. An extreme, you would get 3. And I'd let you pick which 3 you want to know about, or 1 or whatever. If you get a crit, so a 0-1, you would get 4.
Okay, all right. What am I rolling
Okay.
for?
This would be library use.
Okay.
What
Come on,
is it at?
Archie.
What are you trying to beat?
Mine shows a 50, so if you leveled it up, you might have a little bit better shot. But 50-50 isn't too bad.
That's not too bad.
I rolled a 26.
Perfect.
So-
So just a regular, but like on the cusp of having a hard success.
Yeah.
Okay, which one do you want?
So just one, right?
Yep.
Dude, pick Friday for Rebecca Black. I'm just kidding. Please don't do that one.
I think the one that caught my attention because I remember hearing it was Malik Ahamar Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. So as you're kind of
Red
reading
King
through,
Tuesday?
you'll see that he is associated with the planet Mars, specifically the planet of war, like the ancient
Oh.
war god of the Romo-Greek pantheon, Ares
I was
slash
just about to
Mar.
say Ares, yeah.
This Djinn is associated with war and depicted as a monstrous being riding a lion armed with a sword and holding a severed head.
Jesus Christ. Say that again.
So he is associated with the planet Mars, which is the planet of war, like the ancient war god of the Romano Greek pantheon, Ares slash Mars. This Djinn is associated with war and depicted as a monstrous being riding a lion armed with a sword and holding a severed head.
Wow, riding a lion.
Like, it's like that meme generator where you've got like Trump riding a velociraptor with a like
Right.
Smith and Wesson. Like,
right. I didn't even think about it like that.
so that's what you're
Okay.
able to track down. So you're at least able to find whatever this particular one that Archibald sort of fixated on. It would take a little bit more time perusing the library to get anything more, which you might have some more downtime as we're kind of like playing through this module if you would like. But I would say that consumes at least one of your days. So you'd have probably two more. So you could keep researching, you could do other things. It's kind of your call.
I think he would at least attempt one more research.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a roll. And make sure you check for that success if you hadn't already.
I did not. In library use, right?
Yeah. I never
Alright.
remember, dude. I fucked myself over before.
Ooh. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good one or not. Nope, no, I guess not. Because that's an 81.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
And it might be just the section that had the Djinn. It gets, you're having to dig through the Quran that they have on file, and that's not common here in New York. We're not as
It's like trying to find information in the Bible for proof of evolution.
right.
Like,
Except,
Archibald's looking through it like, man, I don't know these. Are these letters?
and what makes matters worse is it's not even like a common religion accepted in the United States at this time period.
yeah.
Like
Right.
it's almost exclusively Christianity. So you've got like 15 Bibles and like one haphazardly put together Quran, and that's what you're kind of working with. Is there anything you're wanting to do with your last sort of day during this time period?
Yeah, so kind of to get off the cusp there. Archibald actually wants to attempt to find a flower shop.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You could definitely find one. Give me a navigate roll to kind of just see how long it takes you to kind of like track down one, and we'll kind of determine what quality level of one you're able to find. Mostly just because Archibald's more in the Arkham area, not from New York.
Damn, that's a 48.
Is that a fail?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, because it was a 10. Yep.
Oh, 10.
So, like I said, it doesn't mean you don't find it. It just means it takes a little bit longer
Right.
for you to track
You're
it
just
down.
gonna find some guy selling a fucking rose that's almost dead.
And kind of like last session was, it's not. While you've kind of registered that it's systematic in one direction with like 1, 2, 3, sort of like first street, second street, third, and that way. Once you get out of like that main grid structure of like New York, then they start using random ass tree names, and you're like,
Right.
dude,
It's like street
was it
tree,
off
yeah.
of maple or was it spruce or was it elm? Dude, who the fuck knows? You do find a flower shop, and for whatever reason, you kind of end up in the business district of uh, New York here. So like, they're really good. It just means it's running you a little bit more if you're wanting to purchase any of them.
Oh.
Okay, he's gonna like enter into the shop and approach the first shopkeep that he sees.
And since it's the business district of New York, for the life of me, I'm forgetting. I'm trying to call back my Marvel Spider-Man to get that name of the area there, but
Oh shit.
he's got it's kind of like the suspenders, so like it looks like he would have had a jacket on, but because he's actively moving around working, he's got the jacket off and kind of rolled up sleeves, little bow tie.
Nice.
How you doing, sir? Welcome to Vinny's Flowers Emporium.
Hey.
And he's still like looking at his notepad, not fully paying attention as he approaches. He's like, "Yeah, I'm looking for something called Mahad Ahahab," and then he kind of looks around like, "Oh, now I know why I'm here.
God.
Listen, I'm looking for just one single chrysanthemum."
Is there a specific format you're looking for, like a corsage, like a single vase that kind of accentuates the flower?
Yeah, if you got something slender, something that could be put in the middle of a table, and while you can enjoy having your whiskey, coffee.
Oh, yes, it is a little too early for whiskey for me, good sir, but we definitely have a selection of vases, and he'll kind of show you several different ones. So there's like this crystal one that's got like a nice little lattice. There's another one that's kind of like got, they not only have they got it nice and slender, it's got like flower petals sort of like going up the side where like they've carved into the glass. You've got your plain Jane one on like the other side, but you have plenty to choose from as far as like which vase. And he kind of gives you the prices, so you're looking at like between like $5 and like 20, depending on which sort of vase you're wanting to go here.
Listen here, Sonny. Wrap me up the finest, cheapest vase you got.
You see him kind of like cock his head and like, I think I know what I'll do for you then. And he like picks like the one from the middle, which it still looks good, but like those glasses at like your grandma's house that have like the little, it's like the square like blocks in the glass or whatever that goes around it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of styles. So it's a step up from plain Jane, but it's also like super basic as far as like the design of the vase, and that's what he gives you. That'll be $7.50.
Yeah, so, well, I guess no drinks later tonight then. You know what? I'm supposed to lay off the sauce anyways. As he kind of like digs in through his pockets, like kind of looking for his wallet. He takes a little bit longer than he should, as a bead of sweat kind of comes down his forehead. He's like, ha, ha, ha. And then he finally finds his pocketbook, pulls it out, and very begrudgingly hands over the cash.
I like the idea, like the first pocket you pull out of is just like lint and some hair.
Some mobs come flying.
And to make the matters worse, is the shopkeep never breaks his smile as he's like staring intently at you, like waiting for the purchase to be complete.
Oh my god.
Make sure that you put it in water as soon as you get it back to wherever you're taking it, or whatever lady you're giving it to, so that you can keep it alive just a little bit longer.
He goes, oh, of course, this is perfect. I'm sure she's gonna love it. As he like kind of turns and just like whistles as he kind of like jigs out of the store.
Perfect.
And that'll
What's the
be
flower for?
it for Archibald.
Oh!
All right, Gillis, what do you got? So you got 3 days to work with.
Okay, so, just out of curiosity, like, is it fair to assume that I'm just staying at my own place while we're in New York, or are we like cooped up in a hotel somewhere? What's the sitch?
Did we say your business is here in New York, right?
Oh, it's my business. I guess
So
I just
I would say you would have a residence here, unless you
Okay.
want to have a residence in Arkham instead. The
No, I think New York makes sense.
so I would say you could describe whatever your house sort of looks like here. You're from
Well,
here,
you know,
or if you're just
uh,
using it as a point of reference for what you're doing,
I'm
by
just
all
using it
means.
as a point of reference. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, this is the is this the first time we've been to New York?
Hmm. So you guys have spent most of your time in Arkham, which is in Massachusetts, which I mean,
Wait a second. I
relatively
think
close.
I remember saying that I lived in Arkham, didn't I? Because I remember fucking Archibald followed me home one day
Well,
and walked
I
me
thought you
through
had
the
a
windows.
shop set up in Arkham because we
Oh,
had
maybe that's
that,
what it was.
and then when we did the developmental phase, you didn't work because it would have required you to go back to New York. So
Ah,
I think we
okay.
set up that you had a place of business in Arkham as like you could do psychiatric work there or psychology work there if you chose,
Gotcha.
but
Okay.
your main
Okay.
residence was in New York.
Okay. Sorry to get in the
Oh
weeds.
no, you're good.
Um. Okay. So, um, the first day that I get back to New York, I sort of like I don't know. Gillis has like kind of already had his come to Jesus moment with accepting that this is real. That kind of happened back in Farmtown. Don't remember what that was,
Arnoldsburg.
but Arnoldsburg, yes. Um, but after having that conversation with Bentley, like giving him the opportunity to sort of choose his destiny, kind of like further cemented my belief in my reality, and because of this, I feel like I've sort of turned a leaf in a certain way, and I'm not going to focus on work, and instead, for the first day, um, did Central Park exist this early in New York's history?
I don't know if it specifically did, but if it doesn't, you're gonna have enough area to kind of work with because we're
Because it's
now
not been
hitting like
developed.
the industrial boom.
Right.
So there's still gonna be plenty of like rural
Okay.
area
Well,
to go do stuff in.
I want to go find some sort of duck pond, and maybe take a mile or so walk about, and just kind of try to take some images of the natural beauty that like because I've been so focused on work before I worked for PICA, like my like as far as like my psychology stuff goes, I haven't necessarily taken in the beauty of New York. So
Gotcha.
I'll just use the first day to kind of take some nice
Unwind.
shots. Yeah.
Perfect.
Um, as far as my second day, I'm going to with this inspired new leafness, I'm going to try writing a little diddly do, feeling a little inspired by Violet in her success.
Perfect.
And I just want to like have the scene where I'm like at my typewriter, and like you just see on in a bigger font at the top of the page the title Behind the Pages. And I'm going to spend this whole day sort of like my goal here is to slowly work on a book about Violet and her journey through it's like basically what she's doing, but from a more like removing a lot of the adventurous stuff and just focusing on like Violet and how she is sort of growing and blossoming as a woman, and me being able to sort of like see the difference of change. And so yeah, I'll spend my second day working on I guess a rough draft, maybe get 10 or 12 pages under my belt or something.
Okay, give me a English is one of your languages, right?
Yes. No. Well, French is technically one of my specialties.
Well, because
but
what's your so there should be language
oh,
own,
language.
which it's just above law.
Hold please, sorry.
It's one of the ones you fill in, so it's like your natural language.
Oh, okay. I never put English as language in here. That's part of my problem here.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. It's your education score as a base.
I'm almost positive it would be the same as French here, if that's the thing.
Well,
Education.
no. So you see in the parentheses your education. So whatever your education score is, that is your base self language.
Oh, I see. I see now.
So I don't know what your education score is offhand, but that's your base.
Okay, I'll just roll then. It's 80. I'm a smart guy. That's a 59.
Okay, so regular success.
Regular success.
So kind of like you already described, you get a pretty good start. So like you get, I would say 15 to 20 is a fair amount.
Okay, cool.
I would say it's probably enough to kind of like your initial meeting with her, how that kind of went, meeting her at PICA, and detailing the trip out to Ross's Corners where you guys were going to meet the Djinn out there, and kind of like the initial investigation sort of stuff out there. Like you don't get into the heart of like the encounter with the creature or like anything with Red Jake, but
All the setup.
Yeah, basically you've done all the I'm blanking on the term. It's like all the exposition that's in it.
Okay. Cool. And with my last day, I think I will use some time to also do some research on these Djinn. And we can just, not that we have to play it out, but I can just have had a passing conversation with Archibald and where he's been going.
Perfect.
And I'll just go to the same library, see if I can take a stab at it.
Perfect. Give me a library use roll.
Okay. Library use. Okay. Oh, pretty good. I already have this checked off, though, but whatever. That's going to be a 50...
Did you just
56.
miss? What was your library use?
Yeah, it's 51.
Oh, goodness.
God damn it.
And it's kind of, you find the same exact information.
The same fucking book, yeah.
You find the same book and the same names, so like, you're able to find something. It's just, unfortunately, you're retreading the same information.
Okay, and just for the cherry on top of it all, before I went to the library, I left my pocket watch at home.
Ooh.
Just, I'm trying to test the boundaries of this new leaf I've turned and see how I feel. And that's it. That's it for me.
Perfect. All right, Violet.
Not pocket watch, but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
The thing.
I think it's a pocket watch.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or locket. I guess it depends on whether or not
yeah,
you have it. Does it tell time, or is it just a locket?
I would like to think it's like a locket.
Okay. All right, Violet, what are you doing with your 3 days?
So I think for the first day, Violet's gonna go ahead and take some time to work some more on her book.
Perfect.
Nice.
Just maybe get another chapter in for what's happened. Just like add another chapter right now for the first day.
I was trying to. Did you finish? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, like, if my memory serves, were you working on the book that's going to be about your whole uncle shit in the graveyard? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. That's right.
Yes.
Because if I'm not mistaken, she's already completed the one for
from
everything at Ross's Corner.
Encounter.
Yeah.
Yep. And then for the second day, I'm going to stop by with Gilus and check out this rough draft of his book that he's writing about me.
Okay, well, technically, you don't know that's what I'm doing, but you can definitely come check on me for sure.
You know, I will come check on you and see if I can find out what you are doing.
Okay. Should we just take it from here?
Yeah, go ahead. You guys have the floor. I may ask for some rolls depending on how things are going, but other than that, it would be like psychology to kind of like be able to read into each other's motives or anything like that. But that would be it.
Okay. So like as you knock on the door, I'll answer it. Violet, hello. Would you like some tea? As I just kind of like leave the door open and step back and sort of like, not completely out of character, but with a haste in my step, go back to my typewriter and just kind of like, sort of like clunk some papers together and put them in a drawer. I wasn't expecting anybody today. How are things? And I'll like start pouring some tea or whatever.
So Violet's gonna go ahead and come in. And she'll like, well, Gillis. You know, we really haven't had a lot of time to talk, really, other than me insulting you or sassing you or being in my book. Anyways, so I figured this would be a great time to take a short break from writing my book and reading my books to just come visit. But why are you acting a little suspicious right now?
I'll come back from. I like to think that it's like a pretty like, it's like a bigger studio setup, you know. So like the kitchen's just on the other side of the room. As I come back with like two teacups that are just steaming, my eyes will dart back and forth. I was just worried you were going to make fun of my mustache, and I give you some tea. It's Earl Grey, my favorite. And I'll just sip like a disgusting old man, like.
Violet's gonna roll her eyes at that. I'll be like, why did I come here? But anyways, you're still acting suspicious. What's with the eyes darting? What are you doing?
Okay. Well, I've decided to sort of make. You've inspired me to write, Violet. You are a captivating wordsmith. I just got done reading the advent. Did you come up with a name for the first book?
No.
Well, I just got done reading your first book, back in Ross's Corner, and it's inspired me, so I have decided to write myself, and that's what I was in the middle of before you knocked on my door. And I'll take another nervous sip of tea.
Violet, meta-wise, would you like the name of the modules to be the name of your books?
Yes,
Oh my God.
I think that would be a good idea.
God.
So the
That's
first book was
perfect.
called Edge of Darkness.
Oh, I love it! I love it! Okay, cool. That's so edgy.
So after you take that second nervous drink, Violet's gonna say, well, glad to see that you're taking an interest in writing. What are you writing about? Like, what is your first book gonna be about?
Well, there's a long pause, almost long enough for you to like pipe up again before I kind of like. You know, it's very early in the process, and how about when I'm finished, you can be the first one to read it, and maybe look for my amateur mistakes.
I mean, I suppose that works. For now.
Violet, I'm very glad we have met. My life is richer, even though you can be a little contrary to things that come out of my mouth.
I have no idea what you're talking about. And I
Neither
drink
do
some tea.
I, as I take a sip as well.
I'm just gonna go ahead and finish my tea. Well, thanks for inviting me for tea. I'm gonna go work on my book a little more.
Of course. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you out.
So then, rest of the day too, I'll
But,
go work on my
hold
book
on.
more.
3 steps you take after leaving the threshold of my house, which in my head, like DM, what I'm picturing, you know, like the house in Full House, how it's like a house smushed in between other 2 houses.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like some sort of like, you know, my house or my whatever you want.
It's
to call
kind of
it,
like what
it's-
townhouses look like these days.
Yeah, it's more like a long rectangular shape rather than being like kind of a fat square. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track. As you are about to leave, I say, Violet,
Yes, Gillis?
please never stop being yourself. And I'll just kind of give you a little, closed-eyed head nod with a smile and start to close the door.
Violet will respond, say, well, I will do my best to stay myself. And walk away.
Close the door.
So I will go work on some more of my book for the rest of the second day, and then I guess on the third day I'll also go and research some on the Djinns.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Give me that library use roll. And basically, what we'll say is that Gillis filled you in during your guys' tea on what he had
Yes,
done during
yes,
his time period.
yes.
So you have a point of reference to go off of as well.
I can't wait till this like research becomes like pertinent to the other characters because I tried to take notes in a true Archibald fashion.
I love it. Thank you so much. I can't wait.
And because of ADHD, like that's all the information I have is how Archibald wrote it down on this piece of paper.
Library use, I rolled a 47.
What is your score? Sorry, I don't know it offhand.
My scores are 70, 35, and 14.
You said
just regular
70? Yeah, just regular. All right, which one do you want to learn about? So we've already learned
here we
about
go.
King of Tuesday.
The Red King of Tuesday. Al-Malik Amar. Al-Amar.
Al-Amar.
God damn it, sorry.
So you got Sunday,
will-
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
I will do Friday.
Perfect.
Nice.
So the King of Friday is Zabao. He is depicted sitting in a royal manner. 2 of the heads are in profile and 2 facing forward. All of them depict some sort of animal or morphing of animals.
Wait,
The-
2 heads?
2 heads in profile, so it's sideways. 2 heads facing
Uh-huh.
forward, so 4 total.
Oh my god.
All of them depict some sort of animal or a morphing of animals. This Djinn king, like the spirits and demons of ancient Mesopotamia, is associated with the wind. The name Zabawa means whirlwind. He's associated with the planet Venus. As you're reading this, you get the irking feeling that the one you guys encountered fits this description based off of the
No
whirlwind
way!
approach it took to go out into the woods to hunt its prey.
Wow.
So this would have been while you guys were sitting out in the cars and you heard like the screech as it kind of like went out of the attic. You saw like a whirlwind sort of thing where it was rustling all the trees.
Oh shit. Cool. Alright.
So yeah, once I finish researching on that, I guess I will then finish out the day with going to bed at that point, and then the next day I'll end up telling everyone what I discovered with mine.
Perfect. And basically, as Archibald's making his way back, essentially, you guys would meet up at some predetermined time. We'll say that
Meet up at a cafe.
if you want, essentially, you guys would have gotten a ring. I would say because Archibald had built the rapport with Edwin, Archibald would have got the call that was essentially, "Hey,
Oh, right.
I've set up the meeting with Pete Minusco at this date. Meet up at 7 p.m. at Small's Paradise." You guys can kind of meet up before then to sit down and discuss anything you've encountered during this time frame. Obviously, you guys have interacted a little bit over the 3 days, but you now know the time, and then you're kind of heading out to Small's Paradise. So if you would RP anything, otherwise we'll kind of get into the front door and leading down into Small's Paradise.
Okay, have we left yet, or?
You just
Sorry, I had dogs. Yeah, I
No,
had
you're,
dogs
you're
going
good.
crazy.
I was just filling in. So essentially, you guys got a call. You, Archibald specifically, would have got a call from Edwin again, just because you built up the rapport with him.
Okay.
He would have told you he set up the date with Pete at 7 p.m. at Small's Paradise on the day that we're in now. You guys can meet up beforehand to discuss anything if you want, or we can kind of told everybody what information you guys found, and we're heading into Small's Paradise. I'll leave it up to you, kind of you guys on which you prefer.
Now, remind me, like, are we all kind of like staying at an inn somewhere?
So Archibald, Violet, and Bentley would be staying at a hotel or rooming with someone. Carmilla and Gillis are from New York, so they have houses here. So you guys have all been to Carmilla's house. That's where you had the steak dinner. Violet has been over to Gillis, which is basically a studio apartment, like a 1920s equivalent. So it's more of like a shotgun house where it's big enough to house a family, but like it's set up where it's like one room.
Right.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I guess I could probably house one of you, but more than that might be a little bit of a stretch. I have a couch.
Archibald is pretty he's fine staying wherever he needs to stay. Like,
As far as
Roach
cost is
Motel would work
concerned,
for Archibald.
PICA's covering your guys' expenses. So if you're up in a hotel room, PICA's covering it. So like that's
So
not a
a fine
concern.
hotel room will do for Archibald.
We'll say PICA's got enough finances to get you into like a 4-star. So not like the cream of the crop. So you're not staying at the Ritz, but like you're up there. Like it's not like you're living in shambles.
You're like not quite in the penthouse, but like the floor below the penthouses.
Yeah, Violet, you can stay where the fuck you want because you're rich enough to stay where you want.
It's 5-star it is.
5-star it is, she says.
Yep.
Wow.
5-star hotel.
I would be fine meeting up somewhere to head off to this meeting.
Perfect.
Okay.
Gillis had mentioned a cafe, so I could see like trying to hit like a little bit of a coffee
Like a
before you're
brunch.
heading up into, or a
Yeah,
brunch,
yeah.
because it's going to be in the evening. So this would be a 7 p.m. sort of event. So you guys have time in the morning if you want to meet up then before heading out. That works too.
Yeah, I think meeting at a nice little coffee shop. Get your morning Joe and whiskey.
DM, as I go out the door, I'm going to like start experimenting with wax for my mustache.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know where you're going with wax.
I'm gonna like really shape it, you know, and like double down on the fact that I'm wearing a mustache on my face.
So
Yeah,
a
I'll
Dapper
be
Dan
definitely-
sort of man.
Yeah. I'll even like put on my monocle for the day because I have one, so I will wear it. But yeah, I'll meet up at this cafe. I'll order some coffee, get like maybe like some sort of bran muffin.
Okay. We'll say it's with New York kind of being the hub to the rest of the world. It's a French immigrant Julieta
Okay.
is the lady sort of running it. So you've got a assortment of croissants and like that type of
Oh.
stuff. So it's like all the lighter, fluffier.
Like a sweet scone.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a bread muffin if that's what Gillis would like.
Yeah, he needs the fiber.
But there's as far as like coffee, you have like your standard fare, but also like a cappuccino, espresso sort of thing going on too.
Okay, cool. Well, I tried to do some research in the last couple of days and was only really able to find stuff that Archibald already found out, so not much here, sorry folks. And I'll take a sip of my cappuccino.
And Archibald kind of pauses for a second because, like, as he came into the cafe before he sat down, you would have seen that he has a small accessory to his daily little brown suit that he wears every single day. Hanging from his lapel is the chrysanthemum that he bought.
Oh, I love it! Yes, dude.
And as he
The
sits,
flowers for you.
well, he sits down and he looks at you, Gillis, and he pulls it off of his lapel. And he goes, Gillis, come here. And he'll
I'll sort of,
lean
like,
towards
lean
you.
in a little bit. Yeah.
And he starts to pin it to your jacket or your vest or whatever it is you're wearing.
No. You don't. I don't think this. This is. I
Ghost.
just kind of accept it as you do it.
This flower is important, you see. You remember the conversations I've had with you about my grandfather?
I could never forget.
Well, as much of a avid watchmaker he was also a very skilled gardener. This type of flower right here was his bread and butter, his pride and joy. In fact, I'm pretty sure he loved these flowers more than me. Anyways.
We'll unpack that later.
Whenever I was a boy and I was scared of the things that go bump in the night, he used to bring me a single chrysanthemum and set it on the nightstand next to me. It told me that this will ward off any evil and protect me. And I hope that going further down this crazy road that we're on, he will also offer that same protection to you.
And I'll just kind of like, as I kind of adjust my monocle, now knowing the context of this gift, sort of like regretting some of the resistance at first, I just say, thank you, Archibald. This is nice. And I'll sort of like, kind of like adjust my little, I guess lapel, is that the right word? And just sort of like, kind of spiffing myself up as I take another sip of my cappuccino. I hope I can return the favor.
We can do that by staying alive. Now, and then he kind of retreats back and he pulls out his notepad. Now, I didn't get a whole lot, you see, but I read about this so-called King of Tuesday. I think they call him that. He's a big guy. Something about the planet Mars. Something like that. But he's a big dude. A big dude, and he gives head. Or he had a head. Something like that.
Because he was holding her. God damn it. Archibald, I'm sure this Djinn did not experiment in the realm of cunnilingus or that's not the right word.
Fellatio.
I'll just sort of blush and continue to. In fact, I'll finish my cappuccino, and I'll just order just like that drip coffee because I don't want too much caffeine. What about you, Violet? Did you do any research by chance?
Why? Yes, of course I did. It's what I do. Also, your mustache is really weird today. Anyways.
Hey! God damn it.
Archibald kind of leans in. Yeah, it's a little crooked as he like licks his fingers and tries to like straighten the corner out.
Oh, no. I like to think that's like one of those like tying to a railroad type of mustache.
Yeah, after
So-
Archibald does that, I still like roll my eyes and say it still looks funny to me. Anyways, I did do some research, and I discovered what I think is the Djinn we are looking for, and then I will relay the information that I had received or researched on about the Friday one.
Oh. Like, the second you start describing, like, how he's associated with the wind and stuff, I, like you had, start piecing together that this was the Djinn that we had encountered, and Gillis kind of just goes white for a second, before he just, right, okay, so that's 2, 5 more to go, I guess. I wonder if we're even going to be able to find more here in New York.
Who knows? And I will just take a little sip of my cup of tea I got.
So, Archibald, Edwin, you've spoken and we're meeting tonight, right?
Yeah, about 7 o'clock, he says.
Are you nervous at all? Because if I'm going to be 100% transparent, I'm a little nervous. We're going to be talking to some crime boss. Who knew something like that could be just as scary as a Djinn that's trying to haunt me in my dreams?
He kind of like he tugs on his like jacket or like the collar of his jacket a little bit, and he says, "Archibald, nervousness is the key to failure. For any success, you must go into the head of a lion, and just follow my lead. I feel like maybe I can navigate around these types of folk."
I just looked over to Violet with a certain degree of uncertainty and looked back. Yeah. And if you... we can back you up, I guess.
Try not to talk a whole lot, Gillis.
Right.
Yeah, especially with that mustache.
Is it really that bad? As I kind of like bashfully grab it with both hands.
Listen, it's all about the persona here that we're going for. I feel like Violet, as he kind of like looks over at Violet and like scans over her face, already has the look of not to be messed with. Gillis,
I
you need
look
to do
like I
that.
need to be messed with? Is
No,
it the monocle? Is it too much?
You have the facial expression that says you don't want to mess with me. Try this.
Okay.
There you go. Maybe a little bit more raised eyebrow.
I'll just like pull out some paper and take some notes.
Violet's just gonna be just drinking her tea during that whole interaction.
See, Violet's got it.
I don't know. It just seems to come so naturally for her, which now makes me think that maybe I was misunderstood about how I perceived you, Violet. As I looked over at you, you are kind of a badass, aren't you?
I would like to think so, yes.
When we
You just
describe
I
have
it,
mean, I don't like books.
she's practically a millionaire woman in the
Yes.
1920s.
Dude, you're probably one of the most, like, you might not know it, but probably one of the most powerful women in America right now.
Yeah, Gillis, don't mess with me.
See, that's the type of attitude you need. Gillis, have you ever been shot at?
Oh, gods no.
Well, you might want to
Well, that's
pretend
a
that you
problem.
have, but it didn't scare you.
Aside from that one time that Archibald was waving his pistol around as the Djinn was forming in the room.
I'll just take more notes.
Well, I don't know. I think he's ready. I think the lad's got it.
We can hope so. I mean, we might need him to stay quiet, but
If you do,
yeah.
if you do talk, try to put a little oomph behind it. You feel me, Sonny?
Right. Do you think I should just beat up the biggest person I see first?
Yeah, no, I don't think we need to go that
No.
far.
No. I feel
But
like if you try that, you'll get beaten.
And I just looked at my very thin arms.
If you want, we can go behind the alley here, you see, and I'll take off a few shots at your feet.
Oh, no. Maybe I should just not talk as much.
You know, I think that's a good idea because then I can write about it in the book.
If
I'll
you
just,
can,
like-
just try to speak like you play baseball and you love hot dogs.
Right. Got it.
Well, I'm ready when you are.
Well, I guess we still have some time. Maybe we can meet back up. I do have something I want to do just real quickly.
Perfect. Yeah, so following your guys' brunch cafe sort of meetup, you guys all have a pretty much the afternoon and the evening to kind of like do some downtime as well as kind of like get dressed. So I was going to give this as an opportunity. If you're making any changes to what you were wearing during the previous Smallest Paradise, we can go over that now. And then if there's anything you want to fill in that afternoon, we can go ahead and cover that as well.
If I remember right, didn't I grab up like a brown suit or some shit?
Yeah, you had picked
That's
up a like yellow suit in
Yellow suit, that's what it was.
in Arnoldsburg.
Arnoldsburg, yeah.
Once you got to New York, you had picked up the monocle and a gold ring to kind of accentuate.
That's right. That's right. Outside of that, nope, never mind. I'm going to save it for another day. That's it. I'm ready to go to this evening.
Perfect. Anything for you,
Archibald will head out in like the penguin suit that he bought last time.
Nice.
Meta wise though, like, why are we going to go talk to these gangster guys? Like, if I don't know that now, Archibald's going to start spewing off about Djinns.
So
No,
no, that's
so-
exactly why. So
No,
Pete,
that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
so the accountant you're meeting with, Pete, is who Edwin sold the 6 amber to.
Yeah, so this gangster is the guy who was the last one who touched these Djinn
Well,
amber bullshit.
The guy you're meeting with is the accountant. So he bought it on behalf
right.
of a gangster. So this
Right.
guy is more like nerdy bookkeeper type. The guy he works for is a crime boss. So you don't know which crime boss. You just know that he works for one of them.
Okay.
We don't have his name yet, right? Or did we?
The
I don't
accountant is Pete Minusco.
That Minestrone, that's right.
The crime boss is unknown at this point in time.
That's what it was, okay.
Perfect. Anything for you, Violet?
Nah, I'll just be ready to go for the evening.
Perfect. As you guys kind of roll up on Small's Paradise, it's pretty much the same sort of setup you saw before. You can already see you guys are coming a little bit later than the previous night. So instead of like the 6 p.m. like curtain open, you guys are rolling in closer to like 6:30, 6:45. Reggie is out there out front with his counterpart, kind of as the bouncers for the joint. Because Carmilla's with you, once again, you guys don't have any issue getting in. As you're making your way down in, you've got like the coat rack where they can take your coats and everything, just like previously. The only thing that really kind of catches your eye as you're entering in is you can see the current mayor of New York, John F. Halen, at one of the Tainers entertaining some guests.
No shit.
And one of the more famous bands is up on stage. The Charlie Johnson Paradise Orchestra is playing. Let me set the mood a little bit more as well here.
National parks could I hit in 2 weeks? What about hotels? Wait, hey,
Not
Erica,
the
how much
hotels.
am I spending on travel?
When your questions about life turn into time to help people customize and save with limited
You guys are led over to a table in the corner where you'll see Pete Manusco already sitting. As you guys are kind of coming to sit down, he's going to hold his hand over one of the seats, but he'll nod to let you sit down.
I'll be the last one to sit down because I'm feeling passive in this encounter.
As you guys kind of sit down, how do you guys want to sit in relation to him? Are you guys across the table from him, next to him? So there's one seat he's saving right next to him, but you could sit right next to him. You could sit across the table from him, directly across. It's one of those round tables, sort of.
I would say Archibald would like go and sit in front of him as like we're here for business.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll just be at 6 if he's at 12.
Okay. You're sitting. Okay,
I
so
mentioned
you're
that, so-
both sitting right across from. Got it. Violet,
Yeah.
you're sitting in that same sort of position.
Yeah.
Well, you guys got here a little earlier than I expected. I was hoping to have my first meeting done before you got here. Well, I'd like. Oh, sorry.
Archibald's just gonna say, sorry to impose, good lad.
Well, I'd like to take care of business with you and send you on your way. I prefer not to get interrupted, and my other business partner isn't in the habit of waiting. If you don't mind, let's enjoy the music and tackle the business with the sarcophagi afterwards. Following this, he's going to kind of like turn his attention to the stage where the Paradise Orchestra band is playing, but you can see that he doesn't seem to be listening to the music as indicated by the nervous drumming of his fingertips on the table. He's of average build with eyebrows so bushy that they appear to be a single black furry line spanning his frowning forehead. Compared to the raucous crowd, his demeanor is prim and tense. Give me a psychology roll.
From Archibald or?
Anybody at the table. You're trying to pick up on stuff from him.
Yeah, this is my bread and butter. Here we go.
Damn it. Nope, I got a failure. That was a 96.
Ooh,
Regular
almost a
success,
crit.
45.
fail. Sorry, what was that? Gillis?
Sorry, yeah, 45 regular success.
Okay. Violet?
I got a 16, so regular success.
Okay. So, Archibald, I don't know if it's because you're trying to do like the tough man act. Like, you're not picking up too much on what he's sort of throwing out there. But for Gillis and Violet, what you kind of notice is, as we've kind of already described, this guy is incredibly nervous. You two, give me a spot hidden check.
Oh shit, he's packing. Spot hidden. Ooh, this is not as good. Let's see. That's an 80. That's a fail for me.
I rolled a 3.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wait, what is your
kind of
spot
success
hidden?
is that? Yeah.
25, 12, and 5.
Oh, so you
Oh,
rolled
so that's a critical
extreme,
success.
yeah, extreme success.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Okay, so Violet, you're able to see whether it's the lighting and where you're sitting. You could see a fine sheen of sweat on his face. Like, the vibe you're getting is whoever he's meeting with, he is not really ready for this upcoming meeting and is terrified that he's meeting with this person.
Oh, that's not us.
Not you guys.
Oh.
The one that he was hoping was already done before you got here. As the band finishes Dr. Jazz and launches into Paradise Wobble, which I'll throw on for a little bit of flavor here.
I love it.
A door behind the table opens and a tall, thin African-American man in a suit carrying a shiny trumpet slowly emerges. He looks around and blinks. His attention clearly is to get to the stage, but seated as you guys are at the table, he can't get past. So basically, he came out of the wrong door. The horn man hesitates, the effect of several drinks apparent as he gently sways where he stands. He studies the faces before him before choosing Minusco. Sir, I got lost backstage. Would you be so kind as to let me by? I really apologize for asking. As you guys are kind of like looking at the situation, this would require Minusco to stand up to let him by. And because of how nervous he is, he is not in the right sort of mindset for this.
All right, trumpet boy, this way. As Archibald gets up to move out of the way.
Perfect. Basically, he'll thank you. Well, thank you. That is so much easier than what I thought I was just about to experience, especially in this time period here. As he walks by, give me a spot hidden check. And that's everybody at the table, because...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? These dice are grounded. That was a fail.
For me, a regular success.
Okay.
You're in timeout. The other ones are coming out now.
So my new dice must like me because I just rolled a 4.
Dude, are you
Oh.
fucking kidding me?
So another extreme success. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, as you guys have rolled successes, please make sure you check the box next to it for later.
Yes.
As you guys are watching as this African American is walking by, while you guys aren't necessarily musicians, you do find it strange that his trumpet has 4 valves instead of the usual 3. In addition to this, you guys, Violet, you specifically pick up on there's this crackled silver finish to the trumpet, which is really, while it looks good on this trumpet, is really weird because normally trumpets come in a straight brass finish. So having this silvery, crackly sort of finish on it looks really weird. At this moment, the band leader up on stage will make an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor that the mayor has joined us tonight. It is always a pleasure to have your esteemed company and patronage. In honor of your visit, we dedicate this next song to you. Please hold.
Okay.
Sorry, it switched to crickets and I didn't want that in the background.
How funny is that, though? Switch to crickets.
From voting without permit.
Now on stage, you can see Leroy Turner, the African American you had just let by. He's got a rumpled brown coat and pants, which contrast with the white jackets of the band, as does the extraordinary strength and rippling precision of his tones as he joins them in a heated version of a new number. The rhythms are irresistible, the musicianship top-notch, and soon most of the crowd is dancing enthusiastically to the new piece. You guys quickly pick up that whatever this new piece is, it is an instant hit. Everybody give me another spot hidden check.
Okay. Gillis is almost against his will tapping his foot to the music here.
Hey, come on, guys.
Ooh! I barely passed with a 35.
Perfect.
Regular success.
That would be a 13 for me, so hard.
Oh, dice.
Mine was 15.
So a regular success?
Yeah.
Or is it hard? You said it was 25?
Yeah, so it'd be hard.
Okay. Perfect. We'll wait for Gillis to get back, and then we'll...
Oh.
I'm getting bad vibes from this trumpet man.
Got to the bottom of my triple old fashioned here, and there's a lot more alcohol in the bottom here than I was expecting. Alrighty. Oh, we waited for you to get back, so.
Oh, okay. I had to take a shot and then I had to pee, and that just lasted too long.
So Gillis, you'll notice a rat-like man wearing a snappy brown suit who looks over the crowd and then eases along the bar towards your guys' table. You're not sure if he's heading to your table in specific or the stage because of where your table is positioned. You're fairly close to the stage, so you'd be moving in the same direction as both. Violet and Archibald, the way his eyes keep shifting, you get a pretty good impression that he's coming over to the table that you guys are at because he keeps kind of eyeballing Pete sitting there next to you.
Oh, shit.
Midway through the band leader's musical tribute to the mayor, this rat-like little man standing behind Pete Maniscu moves forward. As the music heats up, this individual pulls out a .45 revolver, almost as big as he is, and at point-blank range shoots Manusco once squarely in the back of the head.
No way! Can the blood splatter, shoot across the table onto my face?
Please hold.
Okay.
Though the band is loud and the crowd is louder, at 3 feet, nothing is louder than a .45's report. Everybody sitting across from UNESCO is showered with brain and bone blasted through the gaping hole in Menisco's forehead. Please give me a set.
45 count.
Oh, yeah, 45 is pretty. Yeah. Everybody give me a sanity roll.
45 is a small hand canyon, is what it is.
I succeed.
Perfect.
Oh my god, what is with my dice?
I take that as a fail for Saturday.
Oh, yeah, almost a critical. I rolled a 97.
Oh my god.
What is your Saturday?
Wait, hold on. Is that a 97? Right? No, that's definitely a 90. Damn it. Current is 35, unless we've healed any sanity, but I have it listed as current at 35. Max is 40.
So that is a crit fail. So if you're below 50 in a score, 96 to 100 is considered a crit fail.
Oh shit!
It's once you're over 50,
shit.
it's a...
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's 100.
Oh,
Violet,
shit.
what was yours?
7.
Oh,
Dude,
Violet
what
over
the
here
fuck
crushing
is
it. What is that? Is that
digits?
is that another extreme success?
Yes.
Dude! What's happening? me.
So
my new dice like me apparently.
Violet and Gillis, you guys will only take 1 point of sanity damage.
Okay.
Fuck. Archibald, you're taking 6 points of sanity damage. Give me an intelligence roll. You need to roll higher than your intelligence.
Okay, hold on. You said I just took 6, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least I'm not insane. I'm just sitting at 29.
Yeah, but depending on this intelligence roll, you might go temporarily insane.
Oh, fantastic! I love that for me so much. Hold, please. 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, take your
God.
time. Fish out, not those dice.
Yeah, dude, please.
That was
Now-
my second set
Dude,
too. My
do
first
not go
one are already
insane
grounded.
in this speakeasy right now.
Okay, let's see. What do we have here? I get good vibes from this one, and I need tens. Good vibes from this one. Okay. I'm also blaming the dice tower a little bit, so we're just gonna roll straight onto my desk.
And whatever factors you can control, right?
Exactly. So this is intelligence, you said?
Yeah, so basically what we're rolling for is to see whether or not Archibald realizes what happened or if he suppresses it. So you need to roll
Okay.
higher than your intelligence to suppress it and kind of like push it down, like this shouldn't just happen. If you roll your intelligence score or lower, Archibald realizes everything that just happened and will go temporarily insane.
Sweet Jesus, come on, please.
What do you have to roll higher then?
60.
Okay, 40% chance.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
I don't even want to say what the number is. Just know that is indeed a fail.
He's like, I should have, or she should have rolled the other dice because those were rolling high because she just
Right.
rolled a crit. on this one. All right. Archibald, come join me in the sanatorium. We're going to work through what your
Oh,
temporary
shit!
insanity looks like so that the table gets to be surprised as well.
Oh, good gravy.
Oh
Okay, so I'm going to roll this d10 to determine what your bout of madness is. So, you have developed a phobia. Let me see if I can find this table real quick. So the phobia will stick with you indefinitely. So for your character, Archibald will now have this as a lingering sort of thing. How you RP it is 100% up to you. Let's see if there's one that makes sense here. We're going to say you have lygrophobia, which is the fear of loud noises. Basically, with how close you guys were to the 45 firing off, Archibald has now internalized that this loud noise is something that he's terrified of. In this instance, we're going to have Archibald kind of like instantly cover his ears and kind of like cower down. But as far as this moment passes, you are allowed to play Archibald how you will, just knowing that he now has a fear of loud noises. So that's
Okay.
so you can add this to your character sheet. It's on the second page. But that is now a permanent phobia that he has. Any questions?
Nope, I've got that all noted down.
Perfect. Let's go
Alright.
join him.
opposed to 6? You know what I'm saying? Or is it something?
I have no idea because I've never played a musical instrument, so I don't know.
What were you asking about?
No,
With the trumpet?
It's okay.
The
Yeah,
trumpets normally have 3 valves. This one has a 4th.
I understand. And what I was wondering was, is that the equivalent of like a 6-string guitar versus a 7-string guitar?
Basically.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
Yeah, they're so 4-keyed trumpets. They do exist. They're not like super common. It's just like one of those things that not everybody plays. Most of the people who did play them are extremely like good at what they do, and the whole reason why they adapted over to 4 keys because it's some notes are just easier to hit with that extra key. You don't have to put more like oomph to.
In your gotcha.
Yeah, it just makes it easier. It's like you can
increases the range almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the way that I think of it is like I used to play trombone, and I could still play trombone, but you can get trombones that have a single thumb key on them, and when you press it, it automatically takes you from first position on the slide down to last position on the slide.
Because
So it
7th
just makes it
position's a
easier so I
fucking
don't
nightmare.
Mhm.
Right. So you don't have to do. I see. Okay.
I didn't know you played trombone. That's what I played
Yeah.
all the way up until junior year of high school.
Yeah, I played it all through junior high and high school. I got really, really good at it, and I'm sure to this day, because like I know I can still read music for it, and I'm sure to this day put a trombone in my hands and I'm gonna pout out some melody jazz.
Dude, same story here, but it was the saxophone, and I've recently been thinking about like buying one for myself. But
No, me too. Like I want
$2,500.
I really want to get another trombone just to have just to play.
Oh, you don't have one? I still have mine.
No, I got rid of mine a long time ago. Mine was it fetched a pretty good price at a pawn shop. I was in dire needs, and it just had to go.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
So
go ahead.
instantly, as this gunshot goes off and we get sprayed with the brains, you see Archibald drop to his knees, almost in a cowering position, almost underneath the table, as he is just violently shaking back and forth. You can hear him hyperventilating and kind of sob a little bit. He may have a little golden stream coming out the bottom of his pant leg.
Oh shit.
As Minesco's body hits the table, the investigators turn and get a clear look at the gunman's face. Meaning the gunman also gets to see your guys' face.
Oh shit. God damn it.
He doesn't stay to chat though, but he slides the revolver beneath his coat and coolly walks very quickly across the room, exiting via the main entrance. But having just heard a gunshot go off inside Small's Paradise, it quickly becomes a panic inside.
Violet! I get down to the ground to like try to start consoling Archibald, and I just point out into the crowd, "Follow him!"
Violet's gonna roll her eyes and then say, I guess? Do you really think this is a job for a lady?
You're a badass, remember?
Okay, that's fair. And I guess I'll follow the shooter.
Violet, be careful as you start walking away.
Okay.
I didn't hear it.
As you guys split up, I'm going to work through Violet's and what follows with her, and then I will come back to Gillis and Archibald.
Okay. Alright, Violet, let's fucking see it, girl!
Violet, as you start making your way through the crowd, everybody's starting to move around. Everybody, all the tables pretty close to you have like instantly picked on like shots have been fired and they're freaking out. So it takes you a little bit to get caught up to the gunman. As you race past the startled guards and the doorman, you can see the gunman on the street, and he's making his way into a gray automobile, a Packard,
Oh shit.
and it's rolling away midway down the block. Give me a spot
Shit.
hidden roll.
Forgot about cars, goddammit.
That would have been a 33.
Which is a regular success?
I think it's a fail.
Okay. No worries. It just the car's starting to move quick enough that you don't get a good look. Inside the Packard, you'll see the driver floors it. How much effort are you putting into this? Are you chasing after the car? Are you staying there on the street?
Because I'd be on foot, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Seeing how fast the car is going, I will go back in.
Okay. So we'll say that you're kind of hitting the tail end of what's going on inside. Back in Small's Paradise, like I kind of said, not everybody in there knew that a gunshot went off, but it's news that quickly makes its way around. As the song starts to draw to a close, Monusco slumps across the table, face sideways in a sea of blood, brains, bone, and whiskey, giving everyone a look at the neat hole in the back of his head and the fleshy red funnel through his forehead. He's dead. But as the band keeps swinging, the dead man's hands start to splat out time on the gore-covered table. Monusco pulls himself up to a sitting position. His eyes are rolled up. Blood courses from the exit wound in his forehead, but still he stands. A moan seeps from his lips. Archibald and Gillis, give me a listen roll.
Okay. Listen. Where's my listen?
Okay, hold on.
Oh, God. Okay. You guys rolled low last time. Roll low again, please.
I failed with a
Okay.
56. I was close to passing, god damn it.
So-
I failed with a 71.
Shit!
So you guys just aren't able to pick up on like what comes out of his mouth. It just seems to be kind of like a.
Gargling. Well, plus he's fucking insane right now, right?
Archibald would have had a harder time. I would say at this point the bout of madness is kind of sort of ended itself. He's kind of
Okay,
composing himself. Whether or not he's fully there, because he's probably trying to like come to terms with the fact that he just wet himself and had to hunker down under the table. In either case, Monusco turns and staggers towards the main doors. Now watched by most of the appalled crowd, the band falls silent. The manager gasps and collapses. Pete
Wait,
staggers
Monusco's
out of...
alive?
Huh?
He's alive?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Pete staggers out of the swinging doors. Then from beyond the doors, muffled screams make it their progress up the stairs and into the night. For you two, please give me another sanity roll.
Oh shit. That's
Fuck
why
me.
I asked, is he still alive? God damn it. Alright, here we go. That's a pass.
Okay,
I rolled a 59. Yeah, I'm good.
perfect.
Motherfucker, that's another fail.
Dude!
I don't know what it is. It's just not in the dice today.
You will take an additional 4 sanity.
Oh my god.
Not
What are
enough
you
to
at now?
impose another bout of sanity, but that was enough that you have what's it called? Indefinite insanity. So the bout of sanity that we talked about earlier, that's going to prolong until you're able to rest.
Oh shit, so you're just like you're
So-
over the fence now until we fucking take
Yeah,
a
so
nap
essentially
about
Archibald isn't all there until he can cope with what has transpired.
it. Okay.
So
We're seeing a very blank expression
Yeah,
on Archibald's face right now.
Can I react, or do you
yeah,
still
I'm going to
need more?
describe
Okay.
what you're seeing. So from
Okay,
your
okay.
perspective, Gillis, you believe, although that the wound looks serious, it must have hit in a way that it looked worse than it actually was. So in your eyes, you're not thinking it was a kill shot. You're thinking that it was very
Oh,
serious, but something that he could survive.
That's
Archibald,
how I'm, like, fucking making
you
sense
know
of it.
with 100% certainty that that motherfucker died and
I
has
see.
now walking again. Uh, the news of the shooting brings shouts and screams. Pretty much everybody in the club is trying to rush out to avoid the scandal because they know with a gunshot in the club, police are going to be here soon. So everybody's
Yeah,
trying to get out.
exactly.
You've seen the mayor already depart. Pretty much the mayor all the way down to the bus boy are fleeing. Some of them keep their wits and are leaving through the back alley instead of the front stairs. But pretty much everybody's pushing past, including the folks going the same direction that Minusco's going. So you see them kind of pushing past him, bowling him over. He rides the wave and then falls to the ground at the top of the stairs, and the terrified patrons trample him in their panic.
No fucking way! Are you kidding me, DM?
Moaning, he tries to get to his feet, but they keep knocking him down, reducing him to a bloodier and bloodier
God
ruin.
damn it!
Seeing this man die for a second time, the normally unfabular door guards, so Reggie up at the front, who's seen it all, ain't seen this shit, and he's leaving. So the door guards are now left as well because they ain't getting paid enough for this.
When is Violet coming back in? Is this after or?
Well, she's
before
at the
this
top of the
happens?
stairs right now, so
So
what-
she's like right there with him.
yeah, so she's seeing all these people start streaming out of Small's Paradise before she can make her way back in.
Oh shit!
When the final
You're
wave
like-
of... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I'm just reacting. I'm sorry.
With a final wave of customers that departed, the remains of Pete and Minusco stir. It gets to its feet and staggers into the street, searching
No
for its murderer.
fucking way.
Joey! Joey! The call is about in a dark, terrible patience.
Okay, can I react real quick?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna grab Archibald, like with both my hands by the scuff of his shirt, and just like shake him for just a second and get him really close to my face, like maybe an inch away. I say, Archibald, we need to leave right now. It is within our best interest. As I look up and point towards Violet, who's trying to get into the building. Like, are you just like lifeless, or like what are you at? Because I'm about to slap you.
Yeah, Archibald he's just blank staring at you. Like there are no lights in his eyes. Like the hamster has fallen off the wheel and died.
DM, does an appropriately, straight slap to the face do anything?
So where we're kind of operating at is Archibald. He can function, but he's kind of in a zone of like he's gonna need some hand holding for a little while. Like
Okay.
the way to think of it is you guys might have been drinking, but he's effectively blackout drunk. Archibald has no fucking clue what's happening right now. And when he wakes up tomorrow, he's not going to remember any of this.
Okay, so after I slap him, I realize he's just gone. Archibald, you're coming with me. And I put his arm around my shoulder and I just like walk him towards the crowd of people trying to fucking leave this place up the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah, like you have no issue pulling Archibald in your direction, but it's like that's exactly that. Like you're pulling and he's just kind of like walking like
Right,
what the
right.
fuck.
Oh shit.
All right. We're going to flip it over to Violet. All right, Violet. As you're up at the top of the stairs, you've now seen this corpse sort of make its way out. You'll see the driver of the first police squad car arriving on scene. The driver sees this bloody pulp that Minusco has become and loses control. The vehicle skids trying to stop, pitting
shit.
Monusco against a lamp pole, cutting him in half.
Oh my god!
Killed for the third time, the body stirs no more. For
Wow.
Archibald and Gillis, as you guys are trying to make your way out, the leader of the Charlie Johnson's Paradise Orchestra band, Charlie Johnson, will see that you guys are over there covered in Minishka's brain. You're hit! My God, you're hit! Are you all right?
I'm going to look at the guy dead. Is this like one of the cops?
No, this is the band leader. Because you guys are still
shit.
inside Swallow's Paradise. You haven't been able to make your way out yet.
Oh shit, we haven't made it out yet. Now's not the time, son. And I just kind of like looked at him with like a my best fuck off energy face I could pull off that like Violet and Archibald were trying to like teach me earlier this afternoon.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to like, big piss off energy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and he was just trying to make sure you're okay because you've got brains and blood and everything just smeared across you. So he was trying to make sure you're okay. And now that he's kind of confirmed that you haven't been hit, he's like, all right. He grabs his sort of gear and everything that he brought in for the band, and he's getting out of there.
I'll just like as we start to leave from that interaction, I'll just say like, cool trumpet, I guess, and I'll just like get the fuck out.
Oh, different person, but.
Oh shit! Sorry.
As you kind of look that way, though, you'll see that Leroy Turner, the trumpeter that you guys had let by, he's now alone on stage. He's slumped against a wall, wide-eyed, draining a half-pint bottle. When he hears sirens, so as he hears like the police sirens flaring outside, he gets up and heads for the rear service entrance to escape into the back alley. He looks at you two. You'll be in trouble soon. You best be getting moving. Come on. Now, I know a way. So if you guys would like to follow, he's trying to lead you out to the back alley.
Archibald like slumps his head towards you, Gillis, and just says the words, "Boy, the geese sure are pretty today, aren't they?"
I just like with my other free hand, I mean the hand that I have on his back, I'll just kind of pat him like, "Yes, Archie, the geese are quite the gander." As I with the instinct of not wanting to leave Violet behind, we'll just look at Leroy and just say, "Maybe another time." And I'll just keep pushing if I have to, just like starting like maybe be more aggressive about getting my way up the stairs with Archibald.
Perfect. Give me a navigate to see how well you guys are able to work your way through the crowd.
Navigate, okay. Ooh, I gotta roll like Violet right now to pass.
Do you want Archie to roll at all, or you want me to roll it like disadvantage?
We'll say Gillis, just based off of how we've RP'd this, is Gillis is leading the way, so it's going to be up to him.
That's a fail with a 95.
Okay, and it's not that you don't make it out. It's just
well, I know, but
with Archibald kind of leaning on you, it's a rough sort of way.
Yeah, I'm not muscular, so having to like take on some of his sort of like, yeah, it's tough.
And part of what hinders you is at some point Archibald fixated on sort of the ground, just because that's the way his head is hanging a little bit. He will see this business card on the ground and pick it up.
As Archibald like picks it up and looks at it, like blank staring at the card, he says, "The fishermen know the sea is dangerous and the storm terrible. They've never found these dangers sufficient reason to remain ashore.
Wait. So Archibald is the one who notices this business card on the floor.
Yes, and
And it says this to me.
yeah, unrelated, right?
I just looked at Archibald. If you don't mind, and I'll kind of take the card and just put it in my breast pocket inside my jacket.
Perfect.
Maybe for later, friend. We just gotta keep going. Can I try like tripping somebody in front of me?
Oh, like you're trying to trip someone to like step over them?
Yeah.
Are you trying to have them trampled like Pete just got trampled?
Oh, you know what? I recant that, DM. You're right. No, I just continue on.
It's not the end of the world. Violet has kind of set herself up off to the side so that like the crowd is between her and the police officer that's arrived on scene. Now, granted, this police officer just fucking cut a dude in half with his car, so like he's more preoccupied with that. So it takes, I would say, probably like 5-10 minutes for you guys to work your way out. But you see Violet off to the side, sort of waiting for you guys, I would say, is the primary thing. And you kind of meet up there. We're going to pause for a second because I got to go pee. So we'll take a quick 5-minute and then we'll reattack. Does that work?
Okay. Yes.
All right. So you guys have all managed to group back up. As of right now, the police's attention is on the body that they just fucking cut in half. So you kind of have some time to like group up, find your bearings, and kind of progress. So I will give the floor to you guys now. So you've now had this whole shit just happen. You have two slightly different perspectives on how it all played out. If you'd like, you can go somewhere else. Maybe like the entryway of like the hotel that Archibald's out, or you try and find like another quieter speakeasy to kind of like sit down and talk at. I will leave it to you guys.
Real quick before we get started, I don't know if you intentionally did this, but the stream is paused because the thing is minimized or something in the application there.
Yeah, I forget that if you minimize it, fucking closes it instead of.
Yeah, I just made it a separate window.
I made it a separate window. It's just force of habit. If I'm done with a window to minimize it.
Oh, right. Gotcha. So we're like across the street, down the ways, just a bit, basically, from all this action.
Yeah, I would say you guys kind of met her just outside. How I'd kind of described it as the crowd was streaming out of the entrance. Violet would be on like the left side, whereas on the right side is where Minusco had like got impaled onto a street lamp with the police car. So the police was on the opposite side of the stream. You guys had kind of like veered off to where Violet was. So you had the crowd of people coming out, and then where you guys went from there is up to you. But you have time without having to necessarily sprint away to like escape interactions with the police.
So I'm going to take out a hanky and also give a set to, because I don't doubt that Gilus is the type of man who would have more than one hanky, and we'll give one to Violet. And I'm going to like, obviously I'm not going to be able to clean all the blood off of me with just a single hanky, but I'm going to get most of the whatever particulate of brain might be on me or whatever off my face, big blood smudges or whatever, and I'm going to do my best to also get that crap off of Archibald. And sort of like while I'm doing that, I'm just going to be like, Violet, maybe we should go to my place, or the place that you're staying at, but we need some privacy, and also we need to wash up.
Oh, Gillis, I'm happy to take you to the hotel room I'm in. It's much nicer than your apartment.
Right. Yes. Well, let's head there. We need to wash up, and Archibald here. He's having a hard time.
I see that. So I will lead them to my hotel room that I am staying in.
Yeah, I was trying to look up. So we'll say that Violet is staying at the Roosevelt.
Oh, okay.
The hotel. You guys have cleaned up enough that no one like looks at you too funny as you walk into like the entryway there, and Violet's able to kind of get you eyes up to her room. When you get up to it, whether or not it surprises you guys, it's one of the VIP rooms in the hotel. So it's like top floor, and when you go in, it is bigger than your house, Gillis, as far as like floor space. It's almost like she has the entire floor of this building to herself.
Wow. I'm gonna this isn't. So Gillis, he may have not grown up in a space quite this big, but because of his sort of wealthy upbringing, he kind of just initially doesn't necessarily think much about it until he realizes this is where Violet, our team member, is staying. And so he'll just kind of look around the space and just give a little head nod. So, Violet, this is immaculate. Can I go to one of the windows?
Yep.
Is it what kind of view is it?
I would say it's pretty good. I don't have a frame of reference historically.
I don't even know. Me neither. Whatever.
So I would say the Roosevelt would be a tall enough hotel that it's larger than most of the buildings around it, aside from other similar high-end hotels in the area and maybe some businesses. So you can see most of this area of the city. In fact, we'll say this is the business district of New York. So it would have been same region that Archibald got his flowers from, but just the hotel. So you can see the lights on the bridge there, and a little bit of the lights on the boats in the bay harbor sort of area there. So it's a pretty decent view as far as assuming you like industrial city landscape.
Yeah, well, of course, it's where I mean, obviously Gillis has aspirations for living like this on the day to day. But I'll turn around. Before we get started, I could use a fucking drink. Is there alcohol in here? As I look over towards you, Violet. Adjusting.
Lucky for you, Gillis, I have a full bar.
Oh. Okay. And I don't know what's available, DM, but I'll just pour myself a stiff drink with a couple ice cubes in it.
So it would be to kind of set the scene. It would be a hidden sort of cabinet over in the bar because it's still prohibition.
Right. Yeah.
It's not supposed to be in this penthouse, but it definitely fucking is.
VIP is, right? It's VIP.
So it's kind of it looks like it's literally a cabinet that doesn't open, but if you do the right thing, it unhooks and it opens up where you can see there's a separate fridge in there, and you've got your standard fare. So very high alcohol content vodka, high alcohol content gin, pretty decent whiskey. Basically, it's what you can get. There's a couple things of moonshine. So it's not the classiest as far as cocktail variety goes, but straight liquors there.
Yeah, Gillis, I'm deciding in this moment, is a gin man. So that will be his drink of choice.
Perfect.
Does-
Archibald, you should probably not. Actually, what would you like to drink?
Archibald, like as he comes in, like I'm going to assume like it probably wouldn't be too far-fetched to believe that in this room there's probably like a comfortable lounge chair or like large sitting chair or something of that nature.
Yeah, the way I'm kind of envisioning it is, while it wouldn't be the same type of furnishing, have you guys seen Casino Royale? The
Yeah.
where he walks in and there's like separate rooms, and like one of them has like it's basically a whole fucking living room with like couch, tables, chairs, and then there's like the
Mm.
bedrooms off to the in a separate room off to the side.
Oh, okay.
So like
Okay.
it's basically walking into a house. So yeah, there's plenty of armchairs and stuff to sit down. I would even say uh it's not a fireplace, but it's like a sort of like mantle sort of thing in that room, to kind of look at, where with like a piano in one of the corners, um, just that type of fare.
Right. And so he'll flop down in a chair and he'll like pretty exasperated as you ask him about a drink. He's like, "What? Something, whatever. You choose." And he kind of like holds up the card in his fingers. He looks at it. He's like, "Found a card."
Oh. DM, is there any soda water? By chance?
Yeah, I would say that's not in the
Like
hidden.
seltzer, rather?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that wouldn't be hidden away. That would be in like the other one as like a just a generic, kind of like
Yeah.
French Italian sort of
Okay.
variety that's included.
Just to reframe what I made, I'm going to make a gin and tonic as for my drink. And I'll basically just make that for Archibald, but with vodka, because he takes me as a vodka man. And I'll kind of walk over with the drink. What is this? Yes, that's the thing we picked up right as we left, right? I guess now is better than ever. Violet, did you want a drink?
Sure, why not?
What would you like, or should I just make you something?
Just make me something. I'm curious on what you'll come up with.
Give her one of the classic martinis.
What are the ingredients of an old fashioned? Isn't it like
A sugar cube, water to dilute the sugar, basically dissolve the sugar into, bourbon, and bitters.
Okay, how much?
Yeah,
of that
forget
can
the
I-
orange peel.
Right. How much of that can I pull off with what's available to me in this space?
I would say you've got everything, except for maybe the garnish, the orange peel,
Okay.
available.
So, I'm gonna make her a shitty old fashioned. I've never been this sort of like bartender guy. I'm usually just like drinking something straight. And in this case, soda like seltzer was available, so why not? So I'll just make her like a really shitty old fashioned. That's maybe a little too stiff. Okay.
Yeah,
And
we'll
I'll-
basically say is you didn't use the ice cubes to throw it in to like
Yeah,
dilute it over
okay,
time, so it's
okay.
always going to be fucking full potent.
I'll sit in the same area as Archibald is, and all right, let's kind of break down what just happened.
What just happened? Well, I can tell you what just happened. A 45 slug just went through that man's skull. He was dead. You see? He was dead. A big enough hole in the back of his skull, I could see the back of his eyeballs. That's what happened, Gillis. As he pretty much, like, he takes a big gulp out of that vodka tonic.
Archibald, that wound may have been devastating. Actually, Just now, I was compelled to argue against the fact that he could have potentially lived from that gunshot. But we saw him get trampled by it, and then he still stood. And I just looked over to Violet. Did you see where that rat man went?
Yeah, he went over that. Like he went and then got smashed by a police car.
Not him.
No, that
Oh.
was
What car are we talking about?
The shooter.
the guy, the shooter.
Oh, the shooter. Yeah, no, he hopped into a car and drove away, and I lost him.
Fuck. Did you happen to see what kind of car it was?
No.
Packard.
What was just said? Yes, that car.
Well, that might not whittle it down, but that's something. Archibald, that card. What was that about?
I don't know. It was on the ground. And he kind of like flips it over and he's all, Morgan and Duppy? Christian. God damn it.
Gillis in this moment is trying to practice extreme levels of patience as you try to like fucking figure out how to say this name. And what is it?
It looks like it's for a Christian funeral home serving families of African descent. Oh. Well, isn't that interesting? And he kind of like tosses the card over to you, Gillis, as he takes another drink of the vodka tonic you gave him. He kind of points, he's all, there's still some brain on your shoulder. Glad to see the flower worked.
DM, can I catch the business card like anime style between the fingers?
Roll me a dex check. I think
Okay.
I think that's one of yours, right? No. Yeah, dex is. Yeah.
Yeah, in character statistics.
Okay, here we go. Oh boy, here we go. Oh no, that's a fail.
We'll say that.
I have to like catch it like that after I. Or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. It's one of those kind of like you went to go for it, and then like as you're like lining up, you actually see two cards because you like while you just started drinking, you had drank some at Small's
Oh,
Paradise,
yeah,
so like
I did.
you've had just enough that you're like shit. Two hands for two cards. Archibald, give me a no roll.
A what? Oh no.
No, yeah.
Real quick.
Which I think is a.
Did we see who dropped this shit?
You did not see who dropped it, but
Okay.
there was a couple people that you specifically, or one person specifically that you interacted with right around the time that you picked it up.
Yeah.
No would be an education roll.
Okay, I was... Oh, come on, dice.
What do you gotta beat?
Luckily I have to roll under an 80.
Oh, dude. That's
Ooh! Okay, regular success at a 54.
nice.
As a private eye, you would recognize. Sorry, I didn't insert it because I didn't want to break the flow. But as you guys were talking about the shooter and getting into the Packard, Archibald, you would have recognized the shooter as Joey Larson.
Joey Larson.
Who is a known affiliate of Archie the Boss Bonato.
Okay, hold on. That's a lot to write down.
Archie, what?
The boss, quotations, so that's his name, or like his street name.
Title or whatever.
Bonato. Bonato.
Wow. Dude, Private Eye, I'm so happy that's what you are.
Okay, so the shooter was Joey what?
Larson.
Larson.
I got
Mhm.
Joey written down, by the way, DM. Because I knew it was important.
Oh yeah, him moaning Joey in the middle of the street.
Who does he work for?
Archie
the
Archie,
boss. Yeah.
Bonato. Archie also makes me think of
Venato?
Bonato.
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 Yeah, I'm gonna spell it how I spell it. DM, quick question.
Uh-huh.
How is this pertinent to Archie's like backstory as to why he would know who Joey is?
just your work.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you want a specific one, I'll let you kind of elaborate. But it would be from your work as a private eye. You've heard of a few of the crime bosses in New York. One of the big ones being Bonato, and Joey Larson being one of the guys on his payroll, and him coming up a few times in different incidences that you've worked.
Careless. As Archibald gets up from the chair, he starts to pace. He finishes the last of his drink and kind of shakes it at Gilus.
I'm still like 4 sips in.
Maybe another. You know what? I'll take care of it. You sit down. As
Okay.
he walks, you see Archibald walk over to the bar, and he fills the glass like. It's how big of a glass did you hand me? Was it like this big or like small?
I would imagine that just like normal.
Like your normal, your highball.
Okay, like maybe a fist and a quarter.
Yeah, they're normal, narrower but taller.
You see him take the top off of the vodka, and you see him fill the glass until there's like that much room at the top, and then he just spritzes it with the seltzer.
Oh shit!
The man who shot Pete, that was Joey. You see, I was hired by his mistress once to follow him around. She was under the impression that there were some infidelities going on. She was correct. But, following him around, I kind of learned that he worked for this guy named Archie the Boss Bonato. Scary man. Or so I assume.
Being a New York resident, have I ever heard of that name?
I will say yes. Give me a education, or there's one that I think that's street smart. Yeah, education. Give me an education to determine kind of like any extra context on it.
Regular success. Oh my god!
Success.
With
Success?
With a 69.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. So you would be familiar. Bonato is one of the leading crime families in New York. They're.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You would be familiar enough that there's typically like 7 to 8 crime families at any given time in New York, and he's been a pretty stable one during the time that you've lived in New York.
Gotcha.
All of them kind of like what you're familiar with, kind of like anytime you've watched shows like DC Comics or anything like that. These crime families know how to like maintain their power even if they're doing illicit activities.
Right.
So like even if something comes up, they're never really gone for long before they're back.
Right.
Bonato in particular seems to be one that's either the leading one or pretty close every so often. Like
Gotcha.
Kind of think like Carmine Falcone and like the Gotham sort of context.
Gotcha.
Like that's the name everybody knows, and then there's a
Gotcha.
handful of other families that are always vying for power that seem to kind of be kept in line by him.
Right. Okay. I'll just look over to you. Well, I definitely think that's our next lead, but Joey's dead now. Or, I mean, no, sorry.
Pete.
It's fucking
Pete Menesco.
Pete Manessa is dead. I don't know if you noticed this, but during our encounter with him, before it all happened, he seemed very nervous. Did you pick up on that, Violet?
I did a little bit, yeah.
I'd be nervous too if my head was about to pop like a grape.
But why? Do you think Edwin ratted us out? Do you think he let this Archie know that we were going to be talking? I don't know.
I'd be amazed at what one would do to save their own skin. As he takes a couple of gulps from the tonic vodka.
What do you think should be our next move? Should we get more involved with this Joey Larson? Or... I'm just... From everything that's happened to us in the last handful of months, it's hard not to think that our pursuit of knowledge here is being blocked. And I can't help but think it's all connected. I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. But I don't. Part of me thinks we need to follow up on this, but it's our only lead. I mean, we could do more research here in New York, but I'm starting to become skeptical.
Well,
Sorry, I'm feeling
If
a
we-
little tipsy. I need another drink as I finish mine.
you want me to make it? As he goes over to the bar.
Yes, but please, be gentle as I give you my glass.
As you guys are reloading, give me an intelligence roll.
Okay. Ooh. Let's see.
That's just education, right?
I think intelligence.
No
should be some-
intelligence. I see it, yeah.
What's the... I have a hard success in
Perfect.
intelligence. I rolled a 31.
I rolled a 2.
Oh my god!
The extreme then?
Yeah.
Perfect. As you guys are kind of like talking through what you should do, this sort of eerie feeling relating to how Pete Menesco started moving again kind of like keeps peeking its way back in. While it's important that you guys kind of get the amber and like track down that knowledge, you get this feeling that there's more at play than this crime boss, and it just keeps creeping in because this is the thing that you guys have been working towards. And what you guys kind of start to hone in on is when that new song came on, that's whenever Minusco got shot. And as that song continued to play, he started tapping his hand to the beat as he started to rise again.
I look over to Violet as I take a drink which I imagine was pretty stiff, right, Archibald?
Oh, extremely. But he was nice enough to give you at least 3 spritzes of seltzer.
Okay, cool. We got like a 25-75% going on here. Perfect. I'll take one sip, and then almost like you can see me get the visible chills that go down my spine. Leroy. He must be connected to this, right? He's the one who is playing the music, right? And
As Archibald takes another drink, and you see him swallow. He goes, he could be one lead, Erwin could be one, and maybe the funeral home has seen something crazy like this before. There's no way he should have gotten up. Not the first time. Definitely not the second time.
At the mention of the funeral home, if you look at that card a little bit closer, at the bottom of it, you'll see 11 a.m. sharp. Bring your horn, New Orleans style.
oh shit, dude! I didn't notice that until you pointed it out. Do you read that out loud, Archibald?
You have the card, he threw it to you.
Oh, that's right. Fuck. I read it out loud. Archibald. Maybe this funeral home is the safer option, but maybe it's an opportunity to find Leroy again. It could be dangerous.
Gillis, are you only saying that because Leroy's black?
Come. And he kind of like adjusts his wax mustache. No. Archibald, I'm just saying, when that man played his horn, shit got fucking wild. And on this card, and I'll try to throw it back to you, but it like does the thing where it like goes 3 feet, then like falls straight down.
I see. I saw what it said earlier. Chap, serving families of African descent. Listen, we don't need to pull a race card into this, Gillis.
No, I'm not. He's gonna be there at 11 p.m. I'm sorry. Let me start that. He's going to be there at 11 p.m. If we want to confirm if he is truly connected to these violent acts, it would be a perfect way to find out. Without getting Archie or Joey or whatever Bonato involved.
Right. No, I agree. It's probably best not to get them involved. You see, they're big families. Violet, do you mind if I use your shower? I'm pretty sure I've got some brains still in my ear.
Well, and your groin is a little urinified, you know?
Yeah. Violet's gonna look you up and down. Yeah, go ahead and clean up.
Right. Also, do you mind if I borrow some PJs? Kind of, as he points down, kind of pissed myself, you see?
Well, you see, no.
Right.
Told you to assume I had PJs.
He just kind of, as he turns and heads towards the bathroom, as you hear him walk in, and like from the light turns on, and from the distance you hear him shout, "Good God, it's huge!"
Please, clawfoot tub.
That's what she said.
Or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, I would say it's one of those massive ass porcelain tubs, and it's not like up against the wall or anything. Like it's the main event of the bathroom, so it's like in the center.
Yes.
And there's an assortment of like products for like bathing. If you really want the bubbly's there. It's all high exquisite fare for the bathroom.
Wow. Wow. While Archibald's sort of getting ready to bathe himself, I'll make myself one final drink, but it's only going to be like a halfie, because I'm pretty overdue at the moment. Violet, would you like another drink? I'm almost done. I just need a little bit more. You'll have
He's
to.
gonna go shut the alcohol up so he can't have any more.
Oh,
And I'm gonna tell Gillis, you had too much. You're good. No more. Go drink some water.
No.
Go drink some water.
I'm as clear as day. You
Gillis?
see, as I adjust my monocle.
Gillis, go drink some water.
And I'll like turn around, but like start to walk into the cabinets a little bit before I have to like adjust again to go straight. I'll just kind of plop on like a couch or something that's right by in the area, and I'll just kind of like, oh, Violet, with all these gangsters around us, it's hard to sort of feel safe. You know, I don't know. Is it okay if I stay here tonight? That's all I'm really trying to say. I just don't want to go home. I would imagine I'm like a couple blocks away, right? Like more than just like a quick walk down the street.
I would say it would require a taxi to get from where you're at.
Yeah, and I'm not in the mood for like taxi. So like, if you don't mind, Violet, please, I'll just sleep here, and I'll just kind of like look at the couch.
Violet's just gonna let Gillis just stay there and get him some water.
Perfect.
You just sleep this off. Sleep it off. It's okay.
Yeah, so I'll just like drink like 3/4 of the water and just kind of, not fall asleep, but rest my eyes.
Perfect. Violet, as you're closing up the liquor counter there, you've got maybe like this much left in the bottle of vodka, and about the same with the bottle of gin. So they basically ran you dry on the vodka gin that was currently in your liquor counter. But unless you guys have something else that's burning desire, I think we'll close the evening here, and we will pick up with the morning after in our next session.
It's
Real
appropriate.
quick.
It's appropriate, but damn it.
Violet's gonna take what little's left of the vodka and go take it to Archibald, so he can enjoy the rest of it, since it's almost gone anyways.
Real quickly before we close out, as you bring that bottle into the bathroom for Archibald, like what you find is Archibald never even fully made it to the shower. Like he made it to the shower, but he still has clothes on. He's like head first in the clawfoot tub, half in, half out, just
like,
sawing logs. Yeah.
Oh shit! That's so funny.
So I see that. I will like somehow get him up and go take him to a bed and lay him down.
Oh shit! That's really funny.
Give me a
Roll a strength check.
yeah. I was actually going to give me a strength roll to see how
Like, how many bruises does Archibald wake up with? In the morning?
Right, like did you carefully carry me there? Did you drag me down the hall?
What am I rolling?
Strength.
Oh, that was a 71.
So basically, it's kind of like I don't know if you guys have seen the
door frame.
if you've seen the episode of Bluey, Ragdoll, where like the dad pretends to be able to not move, so the kids are trying to get him out to the car so they can get ice cream. They're like banging him into all the things because they're like trying to roll him. So like you see her like kind of like flip him out of the tub, but like not like gently get him out of the tub. It's like out of the tub and then flap. And then she like drags him to the bedroom, and it's like you kind of like get like one leg up on the bed and then like pull the other one up onto the bed. So I would say he's gonna wake up sore as fuck and not know any reason for why, because like the full mental Archibald capacity ended right before Joey shot this dude in the back of the head. So like he's like basically blacked out from that point all the way until the next morning.
Oh my god, dude, that's so fucking funny.
I love it.
That's so funny, dude. Oh shit.
Oh man.
What a good way to end off the session.